Hi everyone, welcome to Chapter 3 on Sensation and Perception. This is a really quick video just to give you an overview of the topics of this chapter. Again, there's a lot of great information in your text and with the exercises, and I do have supplemental videos posted in your module. Now it's important that we understand about sensations because our senses help us engage other parts of the brain so that signals flow back and forth and help us make sense of the world. It affects the regions that store memory. It governs emotions. It helps us make decisions and initiate actions. And when we're working with somebody, we need to be sure that especially their vision and their hearing is working well if we're trying to understand why they are having issues. And if somebody is constantly getting frustrated, maybe they aren't seeing well, and that could affect their ability to understand the world. Or maybe they're having a hard time hearing other people, and that's affecting their communication and their relationships. So we need to be sure that their vision and their hearing especially are working well and are not the reason that they are having problems. That's why whenever in school children are referred for special education assessments, the first thing that is done is a vision and a hearing assessment to be sure that their senses are working accurately, and that is not the reason that they are struggling in school. Now your text discusses at length sensation and perception. Sensation is the stimulation of sensory receptors located in the sense organs, transmission of sensory information to the central nervous system. And this is what we talked about in the last chapter. We take in the senses, information is sent through the central nervous system so that our body knows how to respond. Perception is the active process by which sensations are organized and interpreted into an inner representation of the world. What that means is we take in the senses, and then through our perception, we make sense of what it means. If we see a car accident, we are taking in maybe the sound of the car accident, maybe what we see occurring, or if we come up after the accident has occurred, looking at the situation. And all of that information is taken into our central nervous system, and then we organize it in a way that helps us make sense about what just occurred. So that's why it's important to really understand how people's ability to take in information and to make sense of it is important in helping them when they are having physical issues or perhaps some mental health issues. The book discusses vision and gives an outline of how vision works and just some basic information about the eye and the different parts of the eye, which includes the cornea, which is the transparent eye cover. You don't want to scratch your cornea. That's very serious if you do. That's the cover to our eye. The iris is the muscular colored part of our eye. The pupil is the opening in the iris, and this is sensitive to light and emotion. And the lens changes thickness to adjust or accommodate to an image. And this image is then projected onto the retina, and then through a process, our brain gets the signal and we're able to understand what we are looking at. Our eye's structure contains rods and cones. Cones are densely packed at the center of the retina and provide color vision. Rods provide vision in black and white, and they're more sensitive to dim light than cones. When we're looking at taking in information, we can have top-down processing or bottom-up processing. Top-down processing involves using cues, using context, using information we're gathering or knowledge of a pattern in order to organize parts of the pattern. So I'm taking what I already know, and when I'm taking in new information, I'm able to make sense of it based on what I already know. Bottom-up processing is organizing parts of a pattern to recognize or form an image of the pattern they compose. So the first time I see something, I'm bottom-up processing. I'm learning about it. You often see this with toddlers when they're walking around exploring the world. They're bottom-up processing because they don't have any experience to connect what they're seeing to with. And if they're seeing a dog for the first time, they're going to want to pet the dog and talk to the dog and smell the dog to make sense of what the dog is. An older person who sees a dog knows immediately what a dog is because they have previous experiences and they're using top-down processing with the information that they're receiving. Hearing is another important sense to understand, and the basic structure of the ear is that we have an outer ear, and this is where sound waves are funneled to the eardrum, and the eardrum vibrates in response to the sound waves. We have a middle ear, which contains the eardrum, a hammer, an anvil, and a stirrup. The middle ear acts as an amplifier, and there's an oval window and a round window that work in conjunction to balance the pressure of the inner ear. The inner ear also has the basilar membrane and the organ of Corti, which is attached to the basilar membrane. And this is where our hair cells move in response to vibrations that generate neural impulses, sending messages to the brain to help us make sense of what we are hearing. So again, having a basic understanding of how our senses work is important when working with others, because we need to be sure that their senses are functioning normally. And if they are having issues, it's not related to something organic, something related to their senses, but it's something else, so we can provide the most appropriate treatment for them. So look at your text, look at the exercises, look at the supplemental videos in the module to go over this information, and contact me if you have any questions. Have a great week.